first part of RDI, which I think is so important, is getting parents through the crisis mode. Moving past that fear to be able to move into the therapy. That part was key for me, is to have that understanding and that time to accept and digest and move forward from that point.
I am Leanne Belton. I'm an occupational therapist, and I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about RDI. So Relationship Development Intervention Therapy, or RDI as I'm going to refer to it for short, is a developmental therapy. So children, they crawl before they learn to stand, hold a stand, and walk. In the same way, they develop socially, step by step. Their ability to learn from another person, to socially engage, to learn to watch, to borrow another person's perspective, or to borrow their emotions. These are all really, really difficult things for kids with ASD.
Yeah, I think RDI worked for my son by allowing me to get to know how life worked from his perspective. Everyday things turned into opportunities, and I didn't see that at the very beginning, and that's a process that you learn through RDI, and being a guide for these little people is you get on the ground, you understand how things work for them, and you move on from there, and you become, that just becomes a way of life. It becomes natural.
So in RDI, the way we go about it is parent learning. The most important person in any child's life is their parent or their guardian. Nobody cares more about this child than parents, right? So our approach is that the world's very best teacher for your child is you, the parent. You are the one who's invested, and you will be there day after day, year after year for your child. You know you will be. And so you are the one that needs to be equipped with knowledge, with understanding, and with the ability to solve problems and plan forward for your child.
I've learned so many things through RDI, but I think the key piece I take away from that, and what has been most important, is being able to understand, assess, be very, very in tune with my son. It's really important to be able to work on a problem, but be able to problem solve. And at first you do that very closely with your RDI consultant, but then you do it every day as a parent. You do that by yourself. You learn to really think about those situations, assess it, make your best guess, and then work forward from there.
Parents work with an RDI consultant, somebody who's trained in this approach, and we are trying to rebuild social engagement between parent and child, right? Sometimes that engagement was there and was lost over the course of the development of the autism. Sometimes it never really got off the ground. Either way, we need to build a guiding relationship.
The thing that I liked the most about RDI was that it helped me to see myself as a guide for my child. In a time when it was really hard for me to see that I could be a successful guide for her or for my son. RDI gave me strategies so that we could do things together and just focus on one thing at a time. One of the strategies that I really appreciated was guided release, which means it's important to know that our kids really like to see something before they try it out. So I would model an activity, sometimes lots of times, and then they would start to join in with me, and then eventually they could do whatever it was by themselves.
What I actually see when I work with parents over the course of several months is I see parents feeling a lot more calm, feeling a lot more confident about their ability to engage with their child, They know what they're working on. By the time they're through the program, they know some of the things that they need to change and they need to work on personally to influence their child. And honestly, some of the best moments that I have in my job is when I have sent parents off with something to change or something to work on it with home, and they come into my office and they've got this little smile of, yeah, that I can hardly wait to tell you kind of smile, and they'll come in and they'll tell me about something that they've been able to change and how their child has changed in response to that. These are the very, very best moments for me, these are the moments when I know that this therapy is a good choice for parents, because it builds parents' ability to think for themselves.
And I remember clear as day, like it was yesterday, that, that feeling of not knowing it was going to be okay, but it is. It will be. Today my son is talking with me about things. We have our little conversations. So those small victories become huge, and when you look back at the day you started RDI, you look back and you think how far you've come, and you know along the way things are working, but all of a sudden you have this wow moment where life has just changed for us. It's just completely transformed our lives.